Rest in peace, Tupac, Machiavelli, the Don, Illuminati. Yeah, you know your name lives on. Outlaw, thug life, got me bust on my guns. Rest in peace, Tupac, Machiavelli, the Don. Rest in peace, Tupac, Machiavelli, the Don, Illuminati. Yeah, you know your name lives on. Outlaw, thug life, got me bust on my guns. Rest in peace, Tupac, Machiavelli, the Don. Born on June 16, 71, the son of a Black Panther, Afeni Shakur. Born in East Harlem and raised in California, representing for blacks and Mexicans on the corner.
Back again with another one. So today is the late great Tupac Shakur's birthday. So let's break it down. Well, I just recently made a video regarding Pac, him and Snoop. I suggest y'all watch it. And in that video, I reference keeping not only his legacy, but our people who we hold high, keeping their legacy intact and in proper perspective. So the same applies to Pac. So here we go, because especially nowadays, it's a whole bunch of after talk. Some good, some bad, but nevertheless, after talk is coming through the wire regarding Pac. And a lot of that, when a lot of people's versions or their personal experience, when too much of that kind of filter or distort his legacy and what he truly stood for. So in this video, I'm gonna attempt to just real quick reiterate his legacy and, in my opinion, how he wanted to be remembered. So here we go. Now let's keep in mind, y'all, Pac, he was not only just a big rapper, he was an actor. And that made him even more bigger than what he was, because he was a good actor and he was good in movies. It was like he played both sports, football and baseball, and he was a star on both of them. So that's what made Pac cool. And then to add the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, his intellectual level and the things he thought about, things he mentioned, and his roots, his Black Panther roots, his mom. So all that just really, that was the cherry on top. And that's what I think made his music so impactful and powerful, because it wasn't just your everyday gangster rap talking about the streets. It was a deeper undertone as far as the societal issues that cause the problems in the street. So that's what made Pac pretty effective. So you got that. Then fast forward to his untimely demise, and there's a lot of questions that's still being asked regarding that. Now, of course, we got Keefy D on trial. We obviously allege he wasn't the trigger man, but they saying he was in the car. So it appears they basically just trying to sum up Pac death to basically being caught in the middle of this whole Crip and Blood or Mob Piru, some type of Compton Crip beef, and a little bit of the Death Row Bad Boy beef, because we know Puff was networking with some of the Crips out there in LA for strategic reasons. So there is something there to that, but all in all, does this do anything? Because let's not get it twisted. What Pac stood for when it comes to his roots or whatever, Pac would be considered threatening, because he mentioned the direction he wanted to go as far as thug life, and which was pretty much an explanation on how these youth is acting the way they acting. The same questions people asking now about the youth. Why they so troubled? Why are they so angry and all this? Well, the hate you gave them, the neglect, this is the problem. Call it the chickens coming home to roost, whatever. And Pac wanted to address that. And whether unfortunately coincidental he was took out or there's some rabbit hole conspiracy there. Possibly. So that possibly still on the table, as we'll see. But from, of course, a lot of the accounts, a lot of the after talk, as I'll put it, they pretty much trying to say he was just caught up in the whole mob pyro and they stumped old boy out in Vegas and old boy was a somebody or old boy wasn't to be played with and old boy came right back instant. Could it just be that or was there some rabbit hole conspiracy involved? Being that how high profile Pac was and a little bit of what he stood for. Y'all let me know. Is that still on the table? What y'all think? But point is, man, regardless, Pac, what he stood for, what he represented when it comes to the MCing and even his movies, but more or less his music, because all his music ain't just with Death Row. My favorite album is Me Against the World. So you done seen different sides of Pac, as I'll put it. But, he was outstanding, brother. Damn sure wasn't perfect. I ain't saying that. But when I see a lot of the after talk or a lot of people want to not even air out his dirty laundry, but when people ain't there to defend themselves, then you want to say something. Like, why you want to say something now? And credibility is shot. So let's not speak on Pac no type of way like that. May he rest in peace. Same with Michael Jackson. Let them rest in peace, man. So happy birthday to Pac, man. Now, of course, if you knew him personally, you gonna obviously have your personal experience because he was human. Y'all may have argued. Y'all may have didn't get along. I'm sure Pac may have been rude to somebody. I'm sure y'all had a disagreement over something. Somebody may have bumped into him. Anything. It's personal. Keep that personal. When it comes to his legacy and what he stood for to us as a group, as a people, we gonna keep it intact and we gonna keep it positive. So rest in peace, the late great Tupac Shakur, man. Happy birthday, and we gonna stay representing. We gonna keep that legacy intact. Bad News Brown breaking it down.